Hey guys, how's it going? This is Zach Martin here at S.O.B. Motorsports again. We want to talk to you a little bit today about our good buddy Mike's car we've been working on. This here is a 1966 Chevelle with a small block Chevy and a nice big blower on it. So basically this car has been one of Mike's pride and joys for the past 13 years that he's been working on. We've been lucky to be a part of the project. It's been in here a couple times, doing tidbits here and there, and finally getting this thing up to where it needs to be. So this last go around, basically what we've done on this thing, we went through and readjusted the valves again. We've got the timing set, and we've also got the carburetors dialed in to where they're damn near perfect. This car is a very unique and pretty cool little project. Personally, I really enjoyed being a part of it and working on it. You know, it was nice to come in and just be able to fire it up just to hear, you know, old school small block Chevy. We also outfitted it's a turbo 350. We also outfitted it with a FTI converter to help out. You know, the original combination, it just wasn't working. You put it in a gear and it would just want to die. So the stall wasn't large enough for the application. FTI hit it on the head perfect the first time. Put this thing in gear, it'll sit there and it goes when you want it to go. This car didn't have a transmission cooler, so we installed a transmission cooler. Went through and adjusted the valves, like I said, got the timing set, got the carburetor set. Along with that, we also basically finished up the interior for them. All right, so something else we addressed with this car, none of the gauges were functional yet. The lights weren't hooked up, the tach didn't work, and we also added a few gauges. You know, there's a few important things you need to monitor when you're in a vehicle, obviously. Oil pressure, water temp, fuel level, battery voltage, mile per hour, and revolutions per minute, which is your tach. Because this is a more high performance car, automatic transmission, we decided to add a transmission cooler as well. And we also added a transmission temperature gauge because, you know, having the cooler is great, but if you can't see where your temperatures are at, you don't know when it's time to park it or if you're good to keep driving. So we added a transmission temperature gauge to it. We try to keep the cluster basically nice and smooth flowing with the car. So we installed the transmission temperature gauge, we installed the fuel level gauge, and then also we wired everything in to make everything functional and work off the key. The lights work, everything turns on by the key, then by the lights. So all that stuff's functional now. The tach's functional now. It wasn't prior. So we got a lot of that stuff cleaned up, a lot of that finished up for the customer. Basically now it's a street-worthy vehicle for driving on the street and monitoring the engine's parameters. All right, and lastly, now we get to start the car up. That's the best part about this whole job, is hearing these things run. On this car here, it came in basically an open header configuration. Very loud, not very drivable. The exhaust was actually running open headers into the car, so we had to modify the floor pan a little bit. We made some adjustments with the transmission mount. I built a transmission mount basically to where the exhaust ran through the transmission mount and all the way to the back of the car. We went basically 3-inch all the way to the back, turned up the tunnel, because it's a full tub car, turned up the tunnel with some Dynamax bullet mufflers and some turn downs, put a little angle on them, little kicks for some style, so it would basically go out the back of the car and not blow any hot exhaust on the fuel system or the shocks or anything like that. So basically, carbureted car, give her a couple pumps on the carb. right, guys. Well, that's all for this episode on this car here. This beautiful 66 Chevelle is ready to go back to its customer. So on the trailer she goes. Stay tuned for more. Thanks, guys.